let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Professions. My name is Maiwa, aka
Big Daddy.
And I'm here with the beautiful,
Polypocket.
with the amazing
Victor,
aka Commander in Chief. And today we have a very special guest, a humble man, a senior member. He doesn't want to accept that he's a senior member.
I'm not spreading uncle vibes yet.
Oh. Isn't he?
He's spreading daddy vibes.
Oh, okay. We take that one.
so we're
here with the amazing Michael Okoli. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod.
Yeah.
How was your week, guys? Let's start like this.
Beautiful.
Really?
I loved my week. It
Really?
was so
What did you do?
I shot my shot at a really big management position.
Mm-hmm.
Like a campaign management position in a big company. And I didn't think I'd get an interview, but I did.
That's something. This is how God works.
That's
That's
good.
interesting. In terms of jobs, a lot of things are happening currently. Huh?
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I mean, God's in the midst in terms of jobs. That's nice. You know?
Yeah, this week, I conducted a lot of interviews, and it's been good.
Big man, team leads.
Been in like a new management role. It's kind of interesting.
Wow, we're doing big things.
Everybody's doing
Hey,
big things.
wow.
How is that actually
Go
for you?
professions.
Now, for me, it's like kind of weird because sometimes like I've just been in the game like 6 years, like experience wise, and I'm interviewing people with like 10 years, 15 years, and in my mind, I'm just like,
Wow.
this guy is maybe smarter than me, but I'm in this position. Like,
You're thinking like an African. Normally, this guy should be in front of me. No.
but I'm super grateful for that opportunity. So it's cool.
That's nice. Mike, how was your week?
It was nice. My aunt from Nigeria came, so we chopped live.
Oh, that's
during the
good.
week,
She brought you some goodies.
Actually, not, but we took out. We did some sightseeing. Unfortunately, I didn't
nice.
get, but next time I already told her. Next time, bring some swallow and some.
So,
goodies,
if you come, don't come bearing gifts. Look, you need to go. Because I mean, the plantain in the diaspora tastes different than in Nigeria.
Yeah,
It's different.
I'm telling you.
Is it really?
It's not the same thing. Come on,
It's not
what's
the
going
same
on?
thing. Even the cashew, like my aunt, she was eating cashew, was like, "What is this, guys? You guys are suffering here."
Yeah, we're really suffering here.
Yeah.
So that means really tastes different.
Oh, the food tastes different.
I actually wouldn't know what plantain.
Pineapples,
I think you're used to it
everything.
now.
used to it now.
I
Yes,
think
used to
I'm
it.
just desensitized to.
I remember actually, it was last year when I went to Nigeria, and we sat together, we had swallow and then egusi, and when I tasted it, it tasted so
It's fresh.
So
It's
so amazing, and I was so happy.
But do you think it's psychological?
No.
It's a
It's
taste.
straight
It's a
from
taste,
the earth. It's been given nice nutrients.
There's no bio stuff that the fake bio.
But the first time I couldn't eat it. Like the first time I ate like proper swallow in Nigeria, I couldn't eat it. It was too much for my stomach to handle.
Oh.
But I'm used to the
I don't know what
processed ones.
swallow. It's that
swallow
thing
is
you
like
just.
pounded.
People
It could
know
be
that's
pounded
fufu.
yam. It
Yeah,
could be fufu. It could be.
basically-
Oh,
Ugali is a
okay.
swallow.
Okay, so
Because
whatever you eat soup with or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, but
Yes,
because we don't
yeah.
chew it, we swallow it. That's why it's called swallow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. But I know
It
Nigerians are
depends.
chew.
It depends on what type of sauce you use. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you have to
No, you
always
always
swallow
swallow.
it. You have to always
See,
swallow it.
No, me, I always swallow it.
I always swallow it.
How can you swallow something
No,
without
that's a bit-
chewing?
It's
a puree.
soft. It's just like parai, it's just.
But do you smash it in your mouth?
No,
Like-
you just
No,
swallow
just
it.
swallow.
You swallow it.
Okay, but the thing is, the way the East Africans do it, that's very, very hard. You know?
Yeah,
it's like,
ours
it's
you
like a
have
brick.
to chew.
No, come
It's like,
on.
it's like they're cutting
I mean,
bread.
Igbo yellow, but it's hard.
No,
Come on.
No. You
hard.
can't compare that. You can't compare.
But
that.
some Nigerians chew. It's a debate, but for me, I swallow.
Hey, it's a swallow.
I do it
It's a
properly, don't do
technique,
it.
you know.
I don't think it makes sense even chewing it. You won't enjoy it.
Exactly. Unless you are accompanied with the meat, so you chew the meat on one side
Yeah.
and then you swallow it on the
No,
other.
how do you accompany it with the meat?
No, you put the meat in first in your mouth and then
Why don't you just?
no, because that's how you do it. Like you put
Yeah,
everything
all-
together.
all of them and
Exactly.
go.
No, we don't do it because there's a hierarchy in eating.
Oh,
Swallow first, then meat last. Because as a kid, you never got more than one meat.
Yeah, more than one meat, yeah.
So now that you're a big man, you can get 3 or 4.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hierarchy.
Hey.
You know, when I was a kid, that was like what I was looking forward to being an adult. Like,
Like,
what-
So you
Yeah,
can
read
eat
more than
meat?
one
yeah,
piece.
when would
Yeah.
I want that one piece of meat?
Fair enough. So, topic for today with the amazing Michael is to get a feel of what he's doing because he's doing amazing work
And who he is.
and who he is. Mike, can you give us a small introduction of who you are, who is in our midst?
Who
today?
who am I? So Michael Okoli to
That's what I wanted to hear. Say your Igbo name.
Proper
That's a beautiful
Igbo man.
Oh, you're Igbo.
Yes,
From
yes,
Anambra
yes,
State.
Anambra State. Red flag. I hope not.
They were the first Igbo demons. Like, but
I
Yoruba
believe
devil, you
that.
should talk now.
Wait, why is Igbo red flag?
I
not
know
a-
that
yeah,
Igbo
really.
men are red flags.
Why?
Apparently,
No, we are the ones that are showering you. You know, the Yoruba, the Yorubas are the ones that are more.
Igbo men have
spicy.
money. They don't talk too much. You're like, oh,
We have money. We shower you. You know, we treat you well.
They
we spoil
control you.
No,
oh,
no.
with the money, yeah.
yeah.
That's
the red flag.
I feel like the difference between Igbo men and Yoruba men is Igbo men only spend money on one, like properly.
Oh, that's true.
Yoruba men
Or many.
You're poor.
Is one to
money
many.
managers.
Yeah.
Many people.
Igbo men is 1-to-1, and then they are stingy with the rest.
It's fair enough. They're industrious.
Yoruba men are very like generous with anyone they are
Exactly,
like.
that's true. Shout out to Igbo people. I love them.
Yeah, but that's so much my background. So I work as a consultant, technical sales consultant at Siemens.
Yeah.
And I'm also on my side hustle. My heart project is ADOE, Afrikanische Diaspora Österreich, which is a community for people of the African diaspora. We are about positivity, empowerment, and community. So that's so much.
nice.
That's
about
nice.
me.
We'll delve a little bit more into ADOE and why that's so important. The thing is, like, 'cause, I mean, this week we have been all going to the very, what was it called, like a symposium or a presentation, or I don't
It was a
know.
panel
Okay,
discussion.
panel
Yeah,
discussion.
panel.
That's the word, exactly.
Of Pan-Africanism. one.
Exactly, and that's why it's also interesting that you are also a co-founder of the organization. And what does it actually stand for, and what is your position in Austria? What do you guys actually do?
And with ADOE, so what we stand for, so as I said, it's about actually community empowerment first and foremost, and enablement and network and connect, bringing actually people together, you know. And what we stand for, I think, at the core, or what we try to do, is that we have our get-togethers once per month. So for the ones that haven't been, you're always invited to come.
I've been there.
Oh, you have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to multiple ADOE
Well,
events.
yeah, summer events.
So we have
It's almost impossible to be black and not being there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, you have
actually,
to
and that's
be-
what's really so surprising to me. You know, we had this award ceremony, and then people said like, "Yeah, she came from Tanzania, and she already knew ADOE before she came." And I was like, "What?
Even now,
But
white
you
people
know-
are asking me, "Are you part of ADOE?"
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Let's go to the white people now. They also want to
Wow.
be
I feel
part
like you
of
guys have a huge
Your
like
brand
promotion.
awareness
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on top,
Yeah.
man.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
you know, because you know when you're always working in it, you don't see it sometimes. But
Yeah.
you know when you hear it, so I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for the feedback. And we do the get-togethers, but we also have then events where and it's called ADOE Goes, where we go to, you know, other companies, institutions. So we've been at the Albertina, we have been
Oh, wow.
to different events, also the Black Lives Matter protests and things like that. And also once per year we have the ADOE Presents, which is kind of panel discussion called around different topics. So we had Voting Black in the past, and last it was Dating Black. So
Yeah.
It was very
we
interesting.
received and also sponsored by Bumble because we spoke about it before.
Yeah.
That's nice to actually have like a platform or organization that empowers a lot of black people. Because I mean, we in the diaspora, we always feel like we don't understand where we can grow from, and it takes a community to grow. That's very nice. And
What's like you guys' top 3 objective though?
Top 3 objective. I mean, it's, to be honest, the objective, I would say, I can only repeat, is empowerment first. Actually, that's the main objective. So, you know, enable people and actually having a foothold. So if you come new to Vienna, you know, you do not know any, but I would say that was actually my storyline in a bit, because I'm not originally from Vienna. I'm from Lower Austria, Krems an der Donau. Shout out.
ghetto.
No, Krems is nice.
know,
No, I like
Krems
You
is
know,
Krems.
but you know, and I always had Nigerian friends, black friends in Vienna, but still when I came, you know, not this kind of big community, people coming together. And that's actually what we are, that when you come to Vienna and you do not know how to connect to the black community in Vienna, then we are the first foothold that you can come to. And then the second, we are also this place of empowerment that, you come and you have an idea, you said, okay, you like podcasting, you would like maybe to give a workshop about this, then that's also what we stand for, to help people in that.
Do you also help like people, like let's say, not that want to live outside of Austria, like in Europe, or it's just like Austrian based?
So due to our proximity, it's only Vienna based even, so Austrian based,
just
but in Austria it's
Vienna-based,
just
okay.
Vienna based, but we have partnerships actually. So we
Okay.
have a partner in Germany called ADOE. They are like in 7 cities in Germany, Switzerland. So we also connect to those. But unfortunately, so as of now, so we're always evolving, also changing. We do not have anything in the UK or France. But, you know, it's really about us in Austria in the first place, but we also help to, you know, connect to other places if you want to go abroad, for example, or if you're looking for something outside. Yeah.
How would that have been for you? For you just coming to Austria? Like, how
True,
did you actually get to meet people?
Actually, I want to
Because
how did you get to hear about ADOE? You didn't know
How
that you were
did
there.
I hear about ADOE? That was in 2020 or 2019.
COVID.
Right before COVID hit, I
Yes.
think 2020, I came for this event.
How was it called?
It was like a games night or something like that. It was in Maria Hilfer Straße, the 7th district.
Yeah.
And I came and I was like, wow, so many African people. I think I
Oh,
found
wow,
you
man.
guys through a friend
Okay.
in church.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was an avid
Nice.
church goer.
I think I found out though by multiple people that I'm following reposting. So it was just in my face. It was almost impossible.
I actually also don't know how I found out, but I was just there at the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, you've been almost one of the
I was almost
one of the OGs. Mine was an OG. Like, I
one of the
remember we were
founding
there in the big
members.
circle when the idea was actually, it wasn't called ADOE at the
Yeah,
time.
we
you know,
were
it
still
was-
actually trying to figure out the name.
figure out the name, figure out what to do, yeah. But my has been actually history. Your history, you're part of the history,
Come on, I'm black. I make history every day.
Because I think the first ADOE event that which was somewhere in the park where we were playing, like there was food, there was like games. I can't
At
remember.
the Augarten, was it?
Yeah, it has to be our.
I remember,
I think that was my.
think
I don't know if that
yeah.
was you guys'
I
first
think I saw
event.
it was the
But
first.
that was
it
my
the first
first-
one after
yeah.
the long COVID
Yeah.
lockdown, and people loved it
Yeah,
that time. Yeah.
Which was interesting. Because I still remember the first time I came to ADOE because it was more about like, okay, trying to figure out like,
Because everyone brought food.
yeah, that was
and then
something.
it was. Yeah, I found it nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have a community because for me it was always important, like, which we'll get into the next segment anyways, all about work and networking, because I feel like a lot of people that grew up in the African diaspora, also people that come here, they don't know how to go about in terms of education, how to figure out the next level. So that's one thing that was always very important to me. And you, Michael, you have also been a mentor while you were studying. So, like the big in terms of empowerment, how do you guys empower people with work, for instance, like
That's a good,
education?
It's a good question or topic. So about that way. So if you ask me personally, like my interest, I'm also like all about like community, but also about work. I'm really interested in my area of technology and sales. Yeah, but I would say with ADOE, it was always this kind of, we let the community decide what pulls them more, in what ways. And I would say everybody's always welcome to come if you say you're more interested in job-related issues, that you can come up with an idea and we help you to create a get together. But it's not at the core of our community. And I think over time, what we got now with the partnership with ADOE as an advantage is that they really have this entrepreneurship and job orientation at their core. But I would say, nonetheless, we can always make it a space if there are enough people saying, hey, I really want to have a night to say, hey, let's talk about entrepreneurship, about crypto, any kind of way, then I'm always happy to help. But it's not, I would say, in the last years, the community has focused on other topics, which is also valid, but for them was more interesting.
How do people join? How do you become a member of ADOE?
So you can always pay the membership fee. So it's at
12
the
euros,
moment,
or
I
is
think
it
20 we raised it
Oh,
now to
these are
20,
Jesus Christ.
we went up,
there's
inflation,
a
man.
membership
Inflation.
fee now.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
20 euros per month.
So
or,
actually,
like,
Get a
actually,
black card.
So
Like,
actually, if you want to come to our event, it's free. It's always for free. Yeah? So you can always come to an event anytime. Yeah. But as a member, you get some certain benefits, right? So
Like
when we
what?
went to
Sales
Albertina,
to
like
us.
when we go to the Albertina, for example, for the members, it was for free. So they signed up, but the others that weren't members had to pay for it. We also have our Christmas party, which is always legendary, also members exclusive. So in December,
members
they have
exclusive,
the 30th
okay.
December in Nigeria, but we have the 30th December in Vienna at the ADOE Christmas party. So don't miss it the next time.
Do you guys have like
30
events?
December in Christmas? On Christmas?
Yeah, that's what.
You don't know.
so you don't know anything about that
That's
December?
that's
what
a
that is.
clash of interest. 30 December in Christ.
Yeah, it has. It's
Come on, that's
what?
I thought everybody knew about that. So
We
that's
don't know.
why.
That's
30 December
that's
is
what
like
this-
drinking and partying.
Yeah,
but that's the only
But
time
then-
you have to go.
And Christmas?
Yes,
yeah.
Christmas
Everybody's
is
there,
about
yes.
It's during
celebrating
during-
the Lord.
No, during the day you celebrate the Lord.
And then during the
evening,
night.
you go out. Yeah.
this is what we
Yeah.
do. I guess it's
I
a
thought
West African thing.
It's a normal thing.
So during the day you're in church.
Sometimes.
It depends. It depends
Then
on
at
what
night
how
you're in the
religious you
club.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends on how.
wow.
No, but
This is-
wait, this
is
no,
interesting.
but
I didn't know it. You didn't do it.
That's a little twisted.
but then-
No, but this is a marketing thing because I don't know if Nigeria started because Oftentimes, Nigeria is not the first person to start anything.
Yeah,
we just make
give it
things
to the
bigger.
Ghanaians. Let's give it to the
Yeah.
Ghanaians. Actually.
You
But
amplify
30th December
it.
is more of like a traveling thing where a lot of people from the diaspora also come
Go
back
to
home.
Nigeria.
Okay.
And they're really pumping like crazy
So-
money to the
okay.
So it's not a
Okay.
one day thing. It's not even.
It's
a
like the
Christmas
whole
day. It's
December
like
thing.
The whole
Okay.
December.
the whole
whole
time.
December.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
No,
But it's
every
peak-
every day.
every day.
It's every
But
day.
But it's
Okay.
peaking
It is
around
peaking
20th
December.
to 31st.
Exactly.
first.
Okay.
During the day is family time.
Yes.
25, we see each other at club.
Yeah,
But in the night.
In the night time, we go out, boom, boom.
it's called "I Just Came Back" vibe.
Yeah, IJGB.
Yes.
IJGB. I just came
the
back.
summer bunnies are back.
No, I just came back.
I just came
you know?
back. That's
It's like
I think that West African diaspora
is
is quite it's such
The
a big
summer
thing.
bunnies. That's
we
what
can't-
they're called.
Okay.
Summer bunnies.
IJGB. I just got back.
I'm teaching you new
No, don't say
vocab
that.
like summer bunnies.
No, don't say that. IJGB. Say
You
IJGB.
people from diaspora who go back home.
Yeah,
to
we
just
invest
have
in our
fun.
community. We invest in our people. See our family.
Yeah,
you know,
Okay.
it is a vibe though.
So the people that are living in bunk beds go to Nigeria.
and spend.
And
No, that little
spend
2,000 euro that they
money.
have,
Yeah, I go
millionaire
Okay.
for at least for one day. But yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So you learn.
So I hope I sold you the member fee. So the 30th December, Nigeria is then also in Vienna. In that
Wait. So you guys go to Nigeria?
We can do an
No, but we
ADOE.
have a
Not yet,
Christmas
not yet.
party. But
So-
we have a
so you
Christmas
guys
party in Vienna.
replicate-
We
okay,
replicate it
okay.
here.
So, but
Yeah.
how do like non-members attend those?
Yeah,
Parties.
that's
You don't.
You don't.
So
you
it's
don't.
not possible.
He's
It's not
like, you
possible.
don't.
But I like that. I like
So that means like
Yes, sir.
40 euros a year to be a member.
20 euros a year.
No, 20 euros not per month.
no for the whole year.
For the whole year.
Oh, I
man.
thought it's per month.
No.
Oh,
for the
okay.
whole year.
Okay.
We're not there yet. You
Okay,
know?
I thought it's per month. Okay, that's not a lot.
That's not. That's calm. That's calm. But yeah.
So I see. I think you will apply the next month, right?
Yeah, I'll try.
I'll try.
I follow up.
I'll try. my
You
best.
just hit you up.
So like what came to mind is because you guys spoke about entrepreneurship, like people who want to. What's actually like your idea about like this? I feel like there's this new wave where, let me say, Africans want to be their own boss at all costs. And how do you like? What advice would you give like people who want to like navigate through entrepreneurship, being self-employed, or actually being employed by a company? Because
Yeah.
for me right now, it works good for me being employed.
Yeah.
So what advice or what's your opinion about like
So
this topic?
first one I will say, like, I don't know about Africans, but Nigerians,
Yeah.
I think they always wanted to be their
Yeah.
own boss.
Well, especially when
Like,
you're
I
Igbo
think
man.
It's always been
Yeah.
that way. It's really
Yeah.
like it's always been that way. 20
that's
years
true.
I
ago,
think
my
most
parents, yeah.
Africans just use their job as a funnel to
To
put
yeah.
To
money
put-
into their business.
exactly,
So they kind of
exactly.
balance both entrepreneurship and
But I really want to know what's you guys like take on like, because I feel like not everyone can be entrepreneurs, especially
everybody can be.
not
It's
ev-
just the art of entrepreneurship.
trust me, not
that's
everyone
I think
different.
what I always say, I
Is a street vendor and an entrepreneur?
no, but
By definition,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
yes,
actually,
yes.
a street
But you
vendor
know-
is an
yes,
entrepreneur.
yes. But
so-
you know how I would see it, because entrepreneur, freelancer, I would always say we're all the CEOs of our lives.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur within a
I could
company.
be self-employed
but
and
it
also
is,
be.
but it is,
It
it
is,
is, it is. And I think it's not always like kind of a. If I choose to be an entrepreneur, that's what I do for the rest of my
Exactly.
life.
Yeah.
I say,
You can do
hey,
both.
I start by starting a normal job, get some money to the side, put it in my own business, as you just said, Paula, and then maybe later on then have the funds to start my business full time, rather than saying, okay, I just push it all in, go all in, and then fail it.
Fair.
in
The
within
Austrian,
1 month,
I don't like Risco.
my advice as someone who's lived both lives,
Yeah.
business is brutal. Entrepreneurship is brutal.
They're gonna slap your bum bum.
So I found that I started as an employee, hated it, wanted to work for myself,
Hated it.
loved and
wait,
hated
before you
it.
continue, why did you hate it?
The employee,
Yeah, the employee
maybe
life.
because I was doing something I didn't love. It was
Okay,
just like a
okay.
casual, like just a side job or whatever, and I hated it. Then I was like, let me just do my own thing. I have very bad, like, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be really disciplined with your finances, with your time, with things like that, with your employees. You
Talk
also
your
have
shit, Paula.
employees. So to have all that power at 23, 22 years old was way too much, I
too
think,
much,
for
yeah.
me. Yeah, it was too stressful. And then I started recently now being employed again being employed as an entrepreneur, just having side gigs, freelance.
So like being a
freelance,
freelancer.
exactly,
I love it. I love it. I love having a boss, but kind of being my own boss. That's way better than handling my own taxes, handling my own things, handling like...
It's a partnership, it's a corporation.
But wasn't it important for you to make that experience, to know like,
it was so important.
You learned so much for the future?
Exactly.
But what I would say is try and do it at the same time you have a job, because it's way too risky to quit your job and then just drop everything and start a business, because you don't know in the middle if things will go wrong and you don't have a safety net, you know what I mean? So it's good to maybe try both.
Exactly.
But in your area of interest, you only survive entrepreneurship if you're doing the business in the field that you like, you know. You'll never survive. Right? If you're doing it just for money, you'll never make it out alive. You're just gonna die. Yeah.
I think, to be fair, obviously there is no one size fits all.
Yeah.
It's always better to work in a company first, try to understand how a company works. And it takes a while. Obviously, a lot of people hate working in a company. But it takes you more than 3 years, 4 or 5 years to understand, okay, what is this person doing? How is our policy? What's the ideology of the company? Even in terms of like paperwork, how does those things work? Because oftentimes we feel like, paperwork is not needed. No, paperwork is very much needed. And there needs to be a structure. So working in a company for long will tell you that, okay, these are the things that I can improve. And this is how I can make it better if I'm my own entrepreneur.
Actually, I also thought about it the same way, you know. A huge company. I mean, Siemens is a huge ship, you know.
How many people do you have? Like 35,000 or so?
It's like 200,000 actually in the whole world, and then in Austria alone 10,000, you know. But I thought always about it, it's like, hey, if I ever have a company, you know, and I dream big, I know like that's where I want to reach. Then I know how should I structure it, and maybe also how should I structure it from the mistakes. To say, okay, hey, I don't want this culture maybe where people are like feeling a bit, it's just a 9 to 5 and then they could go home, but maybe how can I make it more interesting?
Even now, I'm even trying to figure out like, okay, because we're all very idealistic. We all want to create a new company where it's just vibes. But vibes don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
You get me? No, there has to be,
I feel like they...
You know why I asked that question is because based on personal experience of people that I know that have failed, like being self-employed, being an entrepreneur, I feel like the Nigerians or Africans that come here, the way you run a business in Nigeria is different from the way you run a business here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like I hope you guys like in your like workshops about like coach people, like, because you have an idea doesn't mean like you quickly make the money and then you forget about like long-term pension, taxes.
Yes.
Preach, man.
But this is very important.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Preach.
Because and the reason why I can't see I'm so scared about it is because I feel like I'm just this person that I feel like my brain just wants to implement stuff. I don't really want to care about who is my taxes, my insurance. Like I
think employment is a luxury because you know.
Yeah, and the thing is that I've had like opportunities to be like, be a freelancer in my role, but then I'm just so scared. Like I'm like thinking, if I have like headache,
no, it has to work. It's difficult, but it's actually easier than it seems.
Maybe you're overthinking
it a little bit.
You can't go into this thing with fear. The problem is like it's knowledge. Yeah. You, for instance, you know your work, so when it comes to paying taxes and all the financial aspect of your work, you need to get someone that
you have to outsource.
Exactly. And that's the problem. A lot of people that start businesses, they only focus on the what they like. But as an entrepreneur, you have to. Most of the time, you need to do things that you don't like.
And the thing is, people are not willing to pay for the services of what they don't like.
Exactly.
And another reason is because they are not making as much money to be able to like finance external third-party services.
Funny enough, if you don't make enough money to start a business, even the Austria, like the Wirtschaftskammer will tell you, like, if you're not making money regularly, just leave it. Just stay within the sphere of you are making money every now and then, but don't become a viable business. They will even tell you. Because it only makes sense to become a viable business if the money is regular.
Actually, if you have a customer base, if you have a solid foundation.
They will help you actually.
There's a lot of help out there actually as well.
We just don't get it. We just don't think about it. We always think that, okay, we need to do things by ourselves. No. You can go to them and by paying those taxes, by paying those services, they will always constantly remind you, oh, come to this place of network, do this thing in order to get your name out there. So Austria actually wants you to be an entrepreneur, but the problem is the process is just
tedious.
Exactly, and it's not fun. It's not vibes. Like in other countries, it's just like, let me just
start.
You start, once you're making money, then you become viable. In Austria, it's different. You need to become viable first and then make money.
But a question in that regard, or maybe it's a mindset thing, but I always had this feeling of asking for help, especially in this like professional side of things, as an Nigerian, like, no, I have to struggle it myself, which is a very stupid.
That's a very.
It took so much time.
I feel like you guys are shooting shots at me.
It took so much time to unlearn for me, and I was really like, because I was struggling, and the guy came like, oh, I already did it, so way better than I did. And I really learned like, okay, that's what the Europeans are doing. Hey, somebody already did, let me take it and elevate for the next step.
Exactly, and I always I think I had this conversation with someone yesterday. I was like, the only backup that I have is my mouth. Not anyone, not my parents, but my mouth and my brain. Like if I don't know what 2 + 2 is, the only backup that I have is ask person A, B, C, what is 2 + 2? How can you help me out? People are very scared to go from entrepreneurship into being employed again and vice versa. So if you know your business is not working, it's okay to stop.
I kind of understand an entrepreneur who's having trouble doing that, because it's like it's a show of failure. It's like your failure has been amplified.
Exactly.
It's
okay to fail.
But they need to understand for themselves that it's okay to.
It's a thing.
It's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
And that's what I'm saying. That when you work with people and you know their story, you just realize that you need to take multiple shots in order to get to where you need to get to. The problem with entrepreneurship is like, you don't decide what's gonna be successful. The masses decides what's gonna be successful, and you have to understand
it's
it.
Your luck.
Exactly. So even with the company I'm working for, I think my boss failed multiple times, and then eventually one thing picked up. For me, I work in a civil engineering company. My boss started with the photography company. Like, we're just taking when Stina ends, like when you go to clubs, there's always people that take photos. That was his first business, and he failed.
Okay.
So now, it's for funny, how can you start from a photography company to a civil engineering business and software business? You see how it goes? So you don't know. But the problem is like you rightly said, I think we all have this fear of like, I need to do it by myself because I want the glory for myself.
And the next thing is that where I'm going, is that an African thing?
It's an African thing.
I know. I think it's. I
feel like it's more an African thing.
It's not only African.
It's not only African.
It's people that have a cultural background.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because the Arabs would they help each other. Oh, you
no, but that's okay. The Arabs, the Indians, those ones have cultivated. But then for the Arabs to but that's within like their families. They ask for help within their families, within closed circles.
Same thing with the Chinese. But they have a restaurant.
If you ask within your family, someone in your family will break you down. No, you're not gonna make it.
That's the problem.
And that's the thing. I also feel like as Nigerians, like I would say, we have this big family collective and we support each other. But it's not like when it comes to professions, it's really
it's a collective of fun.
I will do it in secret, and when I meet it big, then I come out to talk to people.
But that's stupid. By the time we are so stressed that by the time I make it out, I don't want to give anybody of you guys anything because you guys didn't help me. You the guys are the first to chop and the last to help.
One thing is, have you guys ever heard this? Like, I can't even mention names because one of my family members was like, because I was like, I'm working in this company. I know a black person that, there's an open position. And the person was telling me, please don't tell this black person no. If you bring the black person in, we try to sabotage. That's the problem.
That's
why.
I
feel like those are the kind of mentalities that we need to stop.
Yes.
We need to help each other to the point whereby if I'm in position
I'll put you in.
Please put... because that's what the Serbians do. If you go to like the magistrate, most of them are
the East Europeans are doing.
It's always
big,
with each.
But at the same time,
I've never seen a black person that.
No, but at the same time, we also have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, look, I'm willing to help you get this position if you have the necessary credentials.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to be able to vouch for because if I put now Michael in, I can vouch for Michael because he has the credentials. So he's gonna make the pathway for another black person easier. But oftentimes you vouch for an idiot,
and this guy will just destroy you. Look like an idiot, and they look.
No, but I always tell people like some people ask me, "Hey, Maya, can I work in your company?" It's like I will ask them, "Look, I know you won't do the work. So if I put my name on the line for you,
that
will make it
yes.
the implication will fuck it up for me, and I don't want that. So if we are vouching for people, those people need to have the right credentials.
Yeah,
it's like when it comes to African politics.
What I have to say in that is that we shouldn't be then too strict, because we're always so hard on ourselves and our own people. So I would always say that, okay, let's keep the bar really at this. Okay, that's the requirements, but don't make it a bit higher just because you're my brother.
But be honest, okay, look, if I'm working at a company, unfortunately, because I'm black, I understand the implications that people have. Yeah. So I'm overworking them my next
work
years.
twice as hard.
But if this guy, I put him in and he's working less than me,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But no, respectfully, I'm at this. I mean, at this point, I'm just
just
like
chill,
it's
chill.
fair rules for everyone, and you also have to say that, of course, if he meets the requirements, it can never fall back bad on you. Even if you're working hard, if you do your things well. Why should they connect?
You can fall back on me.
No, it can't fall back.
No, like okay,
because the person attended he attended an interview. It's not like you just employed him.
No, but like, let's say you are employed, you are working. Okay, I put you in. Yeah, you have been working there for 2 years. You are just mediocre. Yeah. I want to put in Paula now. They'll be like, coming from your,
they won't take it because of
the. At every company, there's an interview process.
Leave the interview. Interview is just for.
But mediocre. I'm not talking about mediocre. We're talking about normal. We said they are meeting the requirements, right?
Yeah.
But we always have this mindset of
So people are just lazy.
If I want to bring someone from my community, they must be really like an A
it
level.
Doesn't have to be.
It can be a B. It can be
I mean, just recommend somebody that should want to work for your company.
Yes.
If you have a friend and he's asking you for a job, ask yourself, would I hire you? If the answer is yes, then recommend.
No, I'll put the back on him. Would you hire yourself?
Yeah, it's true.
Are you happy with yourself?
People would hire themselves actually and fail. Exactly.
Because my issue with because we can talk about entrepreneurship, work, but at the same time, we still need to help each other. The people in high positions, please help. I want to see black people in IMS. I want to see black people in magistrate. I want to see
IMS working, not collecting money.
No, like IMS working, not collecting money.
But one thing I've also seen about black people, and I mean absolutely no offense, a lot of them are not also risk takers. Victor being a good example.
Yeah, I always say I don't take.
Yeah, you don't take risks, but I'm just saying, like in general, like a lot of black people will just be like, okay, I've also seen it because I do informatics, like computer science. You'll tell someone, oh, you're like, why don't you apply to this company? What? That's too big. I don't think they'll take me. That's
not risk taking. That's
also risk taking.
And maybe
that's imposter syndrome. I don't have imposter syndrome.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, you've been in the game now.
I used you as a wrong example. But then maybe for someone else, a black person, they're thinking, okay, maybe I should apply to MR 35 or something, and maybe work there. But what will they think of me? They'll think that maybe I'll bring in black people, and they're like, no.
But I had a lesson for that as well, because I think everybody has imposter syndrome to some kind of level,
In the beginning,
and
if
you're new to have imposter syndrome, I don't know what I'm doing at this work.
If you're new to something,
but the lesson I learned in that regard was kind of like, who am I to say no to myself?
Yeah.
I said, let them say no to me.
Yeah. Preach, uncle. Preach, uncle.
Let them say no to me.
How dare you? Your father.
I will not take the opportunity away from them to say no, but I'm the one that will apply, because what is there to lose at the end of the day?
And another thing, talking about job, not just with jobs. Like I remember the first time, like the first weeks or months I came, I wanted to study computer science. Everyone around me was like, it's so
hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard. Don't do it.
We need to stop that. We need to stop that, because A fail doesn't mean I would fail.
Facts.
But that's always.
We need to stop
that's
that
why
mentality.
I don't like. That's why I don't
But
stop
that's not a black person mentality. That's a complete European mentality.
Everyone is like, it's so schwer. I'm like, I don't know that yet. Let me try it. Let me say it's hard for me myself.
But because of that instant, that's what makes it difficult for us to fail, because failing is part of life.
Yeah.
Because in our community, they don't allow us to fail and try.
Actually, because it's an African
if my mom
thing.
tells me that this school you are going to fail, so now I'm putting myself under so much pressure. And if I fail, I feel like a complete failure. But I just feel like one thing that might not be for me. But at least give me the opportunity to try. But we don't allow our kids and obviously our peers to try.
But it could also work for you. For me, it worked. Because one thing that I constantly used to remember when I'm studying for exams in my uni days was, I used to hear my mom say, you don't have any excuse to fail. Every single time. That's what I hear in my
But
life.
that's the
Nigeria
problem.
don't carry last.
That's
Really?
the
Problem,
problem,
Victor.
Victor. Pointing out.
Victor,
But that worked for me though.
Look, let me tell you
It
something.
worked
But
for
you know,
me.
some people
But
can
then
crumble on
it
because you know it's hard.
worked for you, but you also don't know what it did to you. Now, what are you gonna do to your kids? Are
Exactly.
you gonna do the exact
let,
same
let, me,
thing?
let, me, let me spin the back on myself. Look, because my parents are the type of people like they're always. I'm a typical
Now, but
black
let's be
family.
honest. Why should I fail? Give me one reason why there's money, there's
No,
everything.
Maybe it's
forget
not
that.
for you, and that's why you fail.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, and that's reason
Some
enough.
people are just not good at mathematics, and then you say, okay,
Yeah.
go and start engineering.
Yeah, but
it doesn't
I
make
chose
sense.
what I want to study myself.
you
Yeah,
chose
But
it.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean it ties back to the entrepreneurship thing. Yeah, just because you started a business and you wanted it doesn't mean it'll succeed.
But controversial question: did you really choose though? Because in a, wait,
Exactly.
wait. Let me finish. Controversial topic. Did you really choose though?
No.
Because in Nigerian families,
I want to be an actor. Blue film actor.
In Nigerian families, we have 4 career options normally:
Yes, always
Doctor,
doctor, engineer.
lawyer,
Okay.
engineer, or disgrace to the family name.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
You know-
Michael, in your family, what type of profession do you guys have?
so my father's an engineer.
Okay.
My mom, she started business.
Yeah.
And she's also doing business. So, but these are the professions that we have: engineering, medicine.
Yeah.
In his family, you also have like a
but
very
actually-
classic.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Black
and the thing is, I would say for me, I was lucky that it fit because I was always curious. I was like mathematics, I was like sciences, so it fit well for me.
Yeah.
But that's also what I learned. Some other people, friends I saw, relatives,
I
like
think for
they
me too, yeah.
crumbled under the pressure of being, oh, I want to be an artist, I want to be an actor, but I don't have the freedom to
be
express
that.
myself in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Besides, look, the way we strive for success as Africans is by people hating on us. It starts with your family. Your family will tell you, you are not going to make it.
But that's
oh.
not-
And
Nigerians,
you,
it's not
and you
Africans.
want to
Or is it-
prove them
And you want to
wrong.
prove
But
them.
Paula,
Yeah.
is
You
it
want
also in the Kenyan community
I think
as well?
it's like that too.
That you're
I
not
think
go-
you always
That's why-
always want to prove people wrong. You don't even know if you want something for yourself
because there's
or just
competition. Like your cousins, you just hear, oh, what's your cousin doing?
But
He's getting
that's
admission.
so toxic.
No,
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
why-
that's why you don't
toxic.
ask- that's why you can't
We
ask
have
for
to
help.
Stop that.
It's toxic, but
No, we have to stop it. No.
Trust me. If I didn't have that, I would be relaxed. I wouldn't go to school.
It's not
Victor,
true.
Victor,
That
it
doesn't
worked, no, Victor, it worked out for you. Let me spin it back to me. Like in the family, I am the black sheep, and I will tell you why. Look why. The thing is, okay, my sister is a pharmacist, classic. My brother is in law, me, I'm in civil engineering. But the problem is, like, I always knew as a young kid, like, I am interested in entrepreneurism. So for me to go the route of just academia was not necessarily helpful. I would have loved to have a mentor that will put me into understanding how entrepreneurship works. Yeah. But because I'm listening to my dad, and my dad is like a classic 9-to-5 guy, he doesn't understand entrepreneurship. So he's bringing me down, like, no, don't do this. Or he's just basically like putting me at the front where he's telling me like, you're going to figure it out. No, you don't figure things out in life. Some people need to take you by the hands and let you do it. So by me just constantly swing and do all kinds of things, my parents are looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? Is he crazy?
Yeah.
So, and that's not good because your parents should actually support you in what you are good at. You know, if you're an actor, if singing is what you're good at, then they should foster that essence.
But I would give
they
it
should
with a
just
grain of
teach you
salt.
how
I would,
to
but I
make
would
money.
add what something. They should still give you a reality check. I said, my
Oh,
father-
yeah,
because
yeah.
the thing is like, okay, you want to be an actor. Okay, what's your plan?
Yeah. Are
You
you
want to be
even
an
good?
actor? What's your plan? Like, how will you?
No, it's
no.
true. Are
I
you
mean,
good?
let's take talent aside, but how will you feed yourself at the end of the day? And I think what I would say my parents did in some kind of regard was, okay, you want to do this and this, yeah, outside of the way, because my father was actually, no, you should do electrical engineering. I mean, I still stayed in the engineering space. It's not that deep, yeah.
They do mechanical engineering. That is like, oh my god,
okay, yeah, it's not that deep.
mechanics.
It's not that deep, but you know, in some other regard, you could always say that, okay, you want, because people, kids, you know, when we grow up, we have many dreams, ideas, but to say, okay, if you really want to do that, what's your plan to sustain your life? To say, okay, let's start as a start hustle. Oh, I want to act. Okay, I will do my 9 to 5, and then I will take some acting class.
That's why I said there always has to be a safety net.
Exactly.
But
maybe
do whatever you want to do.
tell the kids like, oh, I give you 2 years, oh, try this thing within 2 years. If you don't make it, go to school.
I understand
But
what
then
you
you
guys
really-
are saying. Yeah. I feel like I'm the black sheep in this conversation.
You're not. We've all gone through what
you
you've
know
gone
what?
through.
When you say safety net, it's only a family that is well to do that will give you safety net.
No.
I'm
Personal
talking
safety
about
net.
a personal safety net. I'm saying you want to be.
If you're in a family whereby you see like I need to make these people,
Yeah.
great again.
No, but it's about
Victor,
supporting.
the problem with African families
They don't
is they
support you,
make you
There's so
live
much
for
pressure.
them.
Yeah,
They
actually,
make
it's
you
true.
live
Yeah,
for
true,
them. You
true,
have to
true.
live for yourself. And that way where they're like, what reason do you have to fail? Okay, that bad pressure, and it worked for you, right? It worked for me too for some time. And now I did my business, and now I decided, okay, let me quit entrepreneurship for a while. I can't even admit that I want to quit and go back to a 9 to 5
Because you look like a
I
failure.
will look like a
See,
failure.
I told my mom, that mom, I really want to sell this car. Like, she's like, yeah. Why? You want to start driving? I'm like, I don't really need it now. Maybe I want to sell it because I want to do something. Look, and she's like,
Do you know?
for what? That's already a failure.
but that's-
if
but
I
that's-
not tell her like I lost my job,
You see, but that's a
You're
mental. But
disgraced.
that's a mental aspect that you guys have to go through. That you have to tell yourself, like, even though I don't make it, I'm not a failure, and it takes a while
Exactly.
Yeah.
because we have all been indoctrinated to think that this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Engineering, law, medicine, or disgrace. You see, but the thing is, like, even if you don't make it, like, it's difficult for you to accept that. Look, I'm still a success.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think that one thing I've realized that a lot of people that are doing apprenticeship, they also have the same trajectory of becoming successful.
Yeah.
But it's just not academia.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell them, like, hey, you can be a mechanic by going an apprenticeship and opening your own business and still get to the highest of esteem. But if you don't tell those people those things,
those people
But I would
make
say
unfair.
it's the
People make
Life
money.
is not
Yeah.
black and white.
I
Exactly.
think
It's a
the
lot of
underlying-
grays, a lot
The
of gray in
underlying
there.
thing here is that no matter what you do, be it successful money-wise or not, you as a human being are enough because we always tie to, you want to be an engineer, lawyer, because then there's the success of money and that's what you should represent.
Yeah.
But imagine you reach it, then you feel empty because you achieved
exactly.
it. What is then left?
you're doing it for other people.
You're speaking to me, man.
That's what I say. You can't do the look. One thing I have to say about law. Look, a lot of people that are studying law are not lawyers. So.
They will not finish. Sorry.
No, it's not about finishing because law, first and foremost, law is fucking boring as hell. But the people that are really working law, they are living this thing. They live it. You can see that the way they are breathing this thing. And for some people, I understand, like, this guy that studied law, you should be a cuckoo. No, it sounds crazy. No,
Maybe
no,
say
but
chef.
chef, okay.
Whatever, because it's very intense. Studying law is intense.
And if you don't like it, the problem is, like, studying law is one thing, but working in law is even more boring.
Yeah.
And if you don't, no, seriously, if you don't like it, you're gonna
Especially
kill
if you do
yourself.
it in a
And long
language
hours
where you
as
don't
well.
even
Hours.
speak properly.
Shit pay, the money is not good. It takes a while for the money to be good in law.
Yeah.
Really. By the time you already have
And you see,
a
that's the
restaurant,
problem.
you have a small
African
imbis.
parents, they'll tell you, be a lawyer, you'll be rich. They don't
Yeah.
even tell you when you'll be rich,
Yeah.
when you'll
Yeah.
start making the money, how hard it is. They just want the papers.
So if my parents would have supported me, look, I could have sold jollof rice and schnitzel now, and I would have made it.
Hey, it's a good mixture.
You see, it makes sense. It makes sense. But because my parents forced me to academia, while these Turkish guys are selling doner kebab and rice.
Hey.
Bro, the first time that doner kebab and rice came out, I was like, oh, man, this is a game changer. Because they were used to sell it just in the
Because
bread.
those €4.50 multiplied by 200 people that
Kebab
buy
box.
it in a day.
Maya, well, this is a business idea.
You see, but because I'm thinking, how am I going
But
to?
we-
My parents come from Nigeria to also for me to say,
Yeah.
be selling rice? Are you mad?
those guys that help you change your locks if you lose your key. Those guys are making money.
But that's the thing. We also can't always blame our parents. You know, they're also
Yeah.
No, but,
that
but this argument is not blaming parents.
Yeah,
We're
but
just
nobody.
trying to figure out what
That's
to do
why
better,
you
yeah.
now take accountability and you're like, okay, let me live my life
as a
for
young
me.
kid, as a young kid, how am I supposed to tell my parents, no, I'm fighting towards my parents? You are
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah, you're scared.
You're scared. Look,
You're
a lot of my friends now that are doing like handiwork, those guys are making crazy money because first and foremost they can do 9 to 5 and 5 to 9. There's always somebody that needs me. If I need an electrician, I call a black. Hey, look, please, guy, come to my house, fix this thing. This is
you need to
you that
change
you're
your
working at the
locks,
office.
it's 200
You can't do 5 to 9.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So this is also a very important aspect because not everybody has the mental capacity to be in academia, but we both need each other. The guy that's in law needs somebody as an electrician.
Yeah.
The electrician needs somebody in law. We help each other out.
I think at the end of the day, people just need to be self-aware. Like, if you know your head is really not meant for mathematics, or just decide early. Maybe you need a mentor that would help you figure that out too. Because not everyone will go to school.
Exactly.
Not
But
everyone
that-
will be successful.
But you know, you have to overcome the pressure of the parents, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult,
Yeah.
though.
But that's why I would say link it back to community that you say, okay,
Yeah.
let's find people.
Yeah.
And not only, I would say, in person that you have to meet, but you also online. I have to say, like, for me, my way of engineering, I've been, curious through school, university, but actually to say, hey, I like sales, that's what I found on LinkedIn. I learned it on LinkedIn. I found it on LinkedIn, and that's how I made my way in that direction. Yeah.
LinkedIn is depressing though, but okay.
Wait, you feel depressing? Really? It's my most
LinkedIn is worse than Instagram.
It's my most favorite social media at the moment.
It's
actually.
like you get on there, you're dying of pressure. Like this person is 24, they have a PhD.
No, you have to clear your feet. Don't look at things
because
like
you're successful at a really young age. So LinkedIn is pressure, man. LinkedIn is pressure.
I say
you have to
LinkedIn is positive.
You have to clear your feet. You have to follow the right people that give you things that you learn about. Yeah, the people that are like, oh, today, I don't know, I took my BMW to work and then I was so grateful, blah, 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 you know, about the success.
Not those ones.
I don't even think it's that. It's, okay, I open LinkedIn. Victor, 24 years of age, graduated, and blah, 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 has a master's in this, has a this, that. And that gives obviously people a lot of pressure. And I know for a lot of Gen Zs and Zillennials, we feel a lot of pressure when we open LinkedIn.
But I feel like the Gen Zs now don't feel pressure.
Because they're not on LinkedIn.
Like there's
because they're not on LinkedIn. Where are they? They're on TikTok where there's no pressure.
That's why they're wasting their time on dancing and learning new dances.
But actually, to be honest, whether be it on LinkedIn, Instagram, or in real life,
there's always pressure.
There is always comparison. So what you should do is like, I look at my own lane. I get the point that you have, and I really agree. Okay,
there's no traffic in your lane.
I rather have professional pressure than looking at Instagram, see someone traveling to Dubai every week.
It's the same type of pressure.
No, it's not the same time.
I also don't want pressure, and I cleared actually my LinkedIn because it was in the beginning like that, but I started following people where I say, hey, they're sharing
things like that can pressure me.
You filter.
I don't know what you did to get to that position, because that's why I can't be pressured with those things.
I mean, with age, then you understand how the world works and that people.
But not always. I think it's also something that you learned along the way, or maybe you've been always built like that. Maybe you have always been built like that.
No, hell no. Are you crazy? No, I was pressured. Like everybody, because you say to yourself like everybody has like time limits. Oh, by the time I'm 25, I'm this. By the time I'm that, I'm this. Then along the line, you're like, oh, man, this thing's heavy. Or you make it easier than it seems, and then that's how you become a realist. I also want to just dream big, but unfortunately, I have to be a realist though, because life has dealt me certain cards.
It's actually something that I want to talk about. Like, how do you guys feel? Like, for example, with my parents, I struggle with this. Like, or people around you who always assume that like you're always like okay,
financially okay.
Yeah. Do you feel that pressure to feel like?
I mean, you guys are men, so it's different.
To feel like, look, for example, like sometimes maybe, let's say I have like maybe just 500 euros in my account, and I'm speaking to my mom, and she's telling me, there's this, and I'm like, I'm broke. She's like, stop it, don't say it. God forbid, you'll never be broke. And I'm like, but
it's a form of
I know what you mean.
No, it's a form of manipulation. Let's say what it is.
How do you guys?
It's manipulation. It's manipulation. They're trying to
manipulate. But I'm really broke.
Yeah, they're manipulating you.
Because you say it's not. This doesn't affect you.
It does, obviously does, but not to the level it gets to. Like sometimes,
Paula now. First to chop, last to help.
Because like I can't even tell people like I'm suffering.
She will say, God forbid.
That's a black people.
She will say, God forbid.
God forbid. I'm like,
that's a black people.
I'm so sorry to say this, Victor, but if you told me you're suffering, I wouldn't believe you. I'm so sorry. I fall into that category. I would be like,
and I think we need to change it. And that's why, see, people.
What are we changing exactly?
No, because people, when people get to a certain scale of like employment, people forget that like this guy.
It's not that, you know, okay, let me explain maybe my reasoning.
Sometimes I just need 5 euros for you to just buy me schnitzel.
5 euros?
No, but
it's the 5 euros that is safe to this day.
Victor, I'm sorry, but this is the thing. I know what you work as, right? I have maybe a salary estimate.
Yeah.
The only way you can be broke is if you're really bad at your money, like saving or using your money.
But he's not talking about skint. Skint is like bottom barrel.
No. When I say broke, it doesn't mean like I don't have money.
You just don't have money for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let's say
just say it like that. Say I don't have money for you. Don't say you're broke.
We're not in my this month's budget.
Bill Gates is broke when he has only 1 million left in his account. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's broke.
Okay, so broke according to your
just
level.
because he earns much doesn't mean
I don't need help.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm broke. I don't have money for you.
Say it like that. budget.
Yeah, but how do you now say I don't have money for you?
Say you're
Because
not in my
this
budget.
month, in this month I budget myself. You were not in my budget.
Hey,
Say
but
it
okay
like
then.
that.
If I know next month, okay, maybe we can do something.
You were shifting me into your
Of course,
budget.
but
next
Klana,
month.
come on, baby.
Hey.
We pay 30 days in advance. This is Klana. Shout out to Klana. Come, Klana, sponsors. Come on. I love you guys.
But guys,
I love Klana.
how do you navigate that? Do you just be like, okay, in Jesus' name, yes, I'm not broke?
No, you can't navigate with your parents.
What do you say?
Emotional blackmail. That's what
Your
they do.
parents
Emotional blackmail you.
do this. No, when you ask your mom for money
Yeah.
when you were young, what did she used to say? I don't have money.
Yeah.
I don't have money. What they meant is, I don't have money for this.
Yeah.
Do the same thing and move on with your life. Stop feeling guilty.
That's why I always feel guilty.
Stop
I don't
feeling
feel guilty
guilty.
anymore.
Yeah.
At what point did you stop feeling guilty?
No, because I look, it's just like this whole what's it called, Empire, the series with Lucius and Cookie. I need to take off myself first. It's my was first, my was family first, and then if something falls down, okay, I will give it to you. But while I'm in the process of building, don't come to me. Don't. At least do it next month. This month, look, guys. I just came from a vacation. I'm skinned. All the money's gone. Vanish, vamoose. Next month, I need to pay off what I spent this month.
Because sometimes
Come to me in
like,
May.
you make certain investments and okay, you are just like, okay, this month
I cannot, yeah.
I really don't have any liquid.
I don't like to spend over my
say
budget.
that, Victor. Say
I don't like to
it.
spend over my budget. This is
Say,
me.
hey,
Africa,
I'm doing.
It's deep. If I say no, God forbid, say it again. You are
Now,
not-
what will you do if you're actually broke? Now, what must you
yeah,
do?
what can you-
Will you? This is the problem, and this is why I see a lot of African men now get into debt, insolvent
Yeah.
or whatever.
to keep up the lifestyle.
Now your mom is asking you for money. Now you can't borrow Mayo, and you're like, I'll pay you. You can't borrow Michael, I'll pay you. Then you get into debt just to satisfy these people. Just say, I don't have.
I can never do past
Stop.
myself. Oh.
Yeah,
I don't
you
get
have,
it.
You don't have
Yeah, and I feel like these are some things that we need to like
to learn.
say,
yeah.
learn.
Yeah,
and
but I
say.
think again, community is important for
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
if I hadn't met Mayo, I would never be selfish. You know,
Really?
Mayo has taught me to
No,
put
wow.
myself
Nah,
first.
nah,
Hey,
No, positive
Mayo.
selfishness.
Okay, what do you mean?
Mayo always says it's Mayo first, his family first, then the rest.
Exactly.
If it were not for Mayo, I wouldn't have had this mindset of Paula comes first. My parents had their life.
Yeah.
They can sort themselves out. It's me. You
Eh,
know,
thank you.
enough of sending money back home. Enough of helping these people.
Do you know why?
You know,
Do you know why?
Take care
Because
of me.
as a human being, we all have survival instincts. Your parents can figure it out. They have been figured out all the time. They're now using you as a stepping stone. But that's not how it's supposed to be. The money should always flow down, never up.
Yeah, I mean, it's always in perspective because, I mean, if your parents are really struggling and suffering, I mean, of course. But we're saying...
But they're using the emotional
but I
black.
know,
Look,
yeah,
let me tell you something.
Emotional blackmail. I know what you mean.
This how I feel
but the
about.
Buy me
thing
this back now.
No,
Yeah,
but the
emotional
thing
blackmail,
is,
yeah, I
if
know.
you're suffering and they're suffering, how can two blind sheep help each other?
Minus and minus is not plus in life.
I
oh.
know.
Let me tell you something. Like, life is not a blessing. Because if I could have chosen to be to come to this earth, it would be amongst rich parents. Definitely not, probably not a Nigerian and probably white. I want to have soft life. So I'm going around. No. So I didn't choose to be on this earth. So you guys I'm responsible to you. You guys have to take care of me until I die.
Hey.
So this is how it is. But Africa make it seem like life is a blessing and the children are the pension scheme. No.
Yes, we are.
Figure out your shit yourself.
I feel like I'm my parents' pension scheme, but not because they expect it, because that's how I've been taught.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to call ties.
And
I feel like that too.
gladly, my parents did a lot for me.
I enjoy
Yeah,
doing
me
it
too.
though, but
But that was their responsibility. They want you to have a better life than
but
them.
they
so that you
did
can
more
do
than they had to.
But
They
so
did
that-
more than they had
and-
to. And me, I will do more than I have
No,
to.
but you shouldn't do it for them. You should do more than they gave you for your children.
Eh?
Yeah.
My children will do it for me.
so that's a cycle. So you expect
No,
them-
but I'm not expecting
No, of
them.
course.
It's,
Psychologically,
I will.
you are because you're like, I did this.
Yeah,
Like, you're not gonna
yeah.
throw, no, you're not gonna throw me into an elderly person's home. Are you crazy? No.
That's one thing I never want my child to be like, I'm giving you money so that I can survive. No, that's for me. That's for me.
Of
That's
course
a
I
no
will
to.
have
Like,
my
because as a grandpa, as
if I
the
don't give
leader
my
of the
parents-
family.
if I don't help my parents, they will still survive.
It's not that they
It's not
don't
about
have.
survival.
It's not that
So-
African parents don't have money.
There was-
When they die, you'll still get
Yeah.
their money. It's just that it's a sign of gratitude.
I think it's a sense of responsibility.
Don't make it a sign of gratitude.
It's
Don't make
exposure,
it
it's
that you
expectation.
expect
Yeah.
expect something.
It's
I
not an
I would be like this, like
expectation.
I will be fine by myself, but if my kids want to buy me a G-Wagon at some
Yeah.
point,
Why not?
and they just want to do it out of the goodness of their heart, it's fine. But I do
Yeah.
not
You
expect,
shouldn't pressure
but it
them,
shouldn't be
yeah.
an expectation. That's the issue with
I'm
African
okay,
people.
that's-
People have
exactly.
this expectation,
Yeah.
and then they start this emotional blackmailing of saying, "Oh, but I did that for you, and I did that for you, and I cooked for you."
You were supposed to do it for
supposed
me. You were
So
supposed to
will
send
you
me to
let
a
die?
better school than you went to. You were supposed to
course,
make
I
sure I
will
have a
give
better
some-
life so that
Yeah.
I can do the same. If you are going to now your case, now you came to us, so you have a better life now, generally speaking. So the next level for your kids is for them to go
have
to
a better
like
school.
go
Where
to
else
Harvard,
can
go
they
to
go?
MIT.
Okay.
Let's say for instance, MIT is
Yeah.
even higher than that's how it's supposed to be. But why you can't be straddling the fence on both sides.
Yeah.
You can't be holding your parents and your kids. I mean, kilo shele.
Because at some point you like once the weight is too
self-destruct.
much on the shoulder, you just like
But before we
break
leave,
down.
Mike, please can you delve into your specifications of what you actually do?
In my my job, what I do. I mean, but I just figured like all of you are in tech somehow, right?
Yeah.
I was
Tech,
wow.
Yeah,
All in
engineering.
tech.
so-
Because I like what you do. You do something about buildings, but also technology, and I am in
Exactly,
safety
yeah.
in buildings, so that's
Yeah, so
interesting for me to
what we
understand.
do, what I do is I sell digital technology or digital services to reduce the energy consumption in buildings. So like heating, cooling, all of these
That's a
things.
new
yeah.
wave.
And I would say in technology in general, when I started it, we did a lot of calculations. I thought like, okay, the job will be probably sitting in front of a PC all day, all night. But I really have to say I was really lucky that I'm in technical sales. So,
Yeah, you
like
have
talking
to-
to people,
Yeah.
I think you noticed it already, right? So, going out and actually convincing people to say, hey, this is a cool idea. Why not implement it in your building? I really love that job for myself. And I have to say, maybe also a shout out to everyone that's listening here. Technology or tech is not only about coding and being this,
Exactly. That's what I also
being
wanted
this
to
like
say. Yeah.
nerdy engineer.
Yeah.
You can be in sales, going out, talking to people. You can be in project management,
Project management,
organizing.
I think sales is for me.
You could
So
just be a
that's
scrum
really-
master.
Commission, now we need this money.
and another thing is like when people say, oh, like don't study computer science because it's very hard. Like there are different aspects or different specifications about. You could just be a scrum master. You could be a project manager.
You can do
could be-
so much.
You could
really.
do so much.
But that's the thing that-
and the people who are making technical sales is
Sales
it's not
is-
small
sales-
money.
sales
oh.
is always big
The
money.
commission is great. Like
But we need to understand like what we can. That's why you're also here. To also,
We need to talk to Michael Nice. That's what you're saying.
I'll call him Mr. Siemens.
Put
That's his
me in
nickname.
my next in his
there's
next
certain
monthly
deals when you
budget.
close in technical sales that is like depending on the company is great commission.
But that's why you are also here, so that people can understand like, okay, when I'm going to this field, because you can go into medicine but also be in sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use the medical like undergraduate as a stepping stone to understand what I'm actually selling,
Yeah.
what I'm actually doing. So it's very important for people to understand like the multiple plethora of ways that you can
Yeah,
delve
I
into
think-
work.
I think there's so many ways that we cannot even describe it all. But I would say also going back to, do not be the person that says no to tech yourself. Let them say no, because I saw people that studied communications, theology, business, and they also ended up in technology, being project managers, bringing in sales. So I would say the ways are so many. But if I would give some advice, it would be, if you say, okay, this is the field that you want to try, and all the information is out there on YouTube and LinkedIn to learn, to get the first, I would say, business like code switching, to talk to the language of what they speak to get in. But I would say there's no
Not to
kind of
fake
a
it to make it
career.
look,
I wouldn't say there's a kind of a career path. I would say it's normal like in the olden days, where I have to be there for 10 years. You can be there 2 years and be the boss of somebody else 15 years of work experience. Yeah.
Because maybe that's the new wave that we are delving
That's a
into.
new, and I really love it. It's really liberal.
No, for you it's going to be more interesting because with the new EU taxonomy and the reduction of like the CO2 emissions. So
But
that
I honestly, I even said to my friends, I could even imagine at some point doing something different. I said always, like, if I wake up tomorrow in the Silicon Valley and work for Apple and selling iPhones, I would believe it.
Yeah.
It's really broad.
And the thing is, I feel like the more you work, the more you bigger you dream, or the bigger you dream.
I will still sell this rice, so
Schnitzel and jollof.
Really? Hey, it makes sense. though.
Look, my business plan is the way you enter entrepreneurship. You need to make sure that you can make money. Sell something that you can make money every day. Sell something that brings you money every now and then. If you can make sure that you can sell, you have financial income every day. I mean, you're going
The
to
best
be
thing
good.
to sell is a digital product.
Exactly.
Or a
Because
digital
but this is
you
what-
just have to work once and you can
You
sell it
work once
multiple
and you
times.
sell it a
But
million
that's
times.
not
Actually,
easy to sell.
But I will give you the advice. Watch the story of the guy that founded Duolingo. Actually, I thought Duolingo was like, I didn't even know who founded it. It was a guy. He actually had already 3 businesses successfully sold. But he said like the best thing he had was Duolingo because he just did it once and it scales to millions of people and everybody uses it every day.
Fantastic. That's a great way to end this podcast. Michael, we love you.
It was
Thanks
a
for
pleasure.
coming. Thanks for coming in.
That was a nice episode.
It was a nice
Wait,
episode.
before you guys end, last one.
Please.
one.
Hit us.
Please, yeah.
Do you guys think 9 to 5 will still be like the normal thing in the next 5 years, or do you think we'll just work
9
like,
to 4.
9 to 3.
No. I don't mean 9 to 5, like Monday to Friday.
Yeah, that's what I said, 9 to
think
4.
at some point we will probably work from Mondays to Thursdays.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for
Sweden
that,
is leading.
At some point,
Finland
do you
is
guys
leading.
believe in that?
Yeah.
There are too many variables.
Already the Scandinavians have already
there's
started.
certain places. Okay, I mean, we are all lucky that we are our parents' dream. We all work desk jobs. My daughter's working in the office.
Hey.
So for us, it's easier to just work from Monday to Thursday. But there are certain people where they can't just work from Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
We still need to figure out, okay,
Yeah, how that would work.
But I think how they will do it. Maybe it's like, for example, Hofer, all those restaurants have to run Monday to Sunday. But I think that people will in total work less, so they will just employ more people,
Employ more
and they will
people.
work less hours.
But this new generation don't want to work.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, they want to work, but only
want to
on
work
things they're
smarter.
passionate
I respect that. I respect.
I
No,
things
Gen
they're
I don't
Z.
respect that. I don't
passionate
respect
about.
that.
No,
I
Maiwa.
respect
Gen Z is cold. Gen Z is cold.
Okay,
Because
you are working
in-
because you don't have a choice, right? It's not
That's true, that's
Exactly.
true, yeah,
So
that's true.
why people who have a choice? Why should they work?
Don't be jealous of them. Don't envy them.
I'm not jealous.
Don't be,
I'm not
don't be
jealous of them
toxic
because
just to do something because you don't.
if God gives you a blessing, you won't understand the blessing that you have. You need to sometimes struggle to understand.
It's
No,
not that what they're passionate about doesn't have struggle. It does,
Yeah.
but they're just doing what they're passionate
And
about.
on their conditions,
On their
I have
conditions,
2 siblings
exactly.
that are Gen Z, and I respect them. They're like, no, I don't take this job because I don't like this and this. And I was like,
And
whoa,
I respect
cold.
myself because I'm
That's
like
cold.
that too.
It's really, and I really love them.
We're bad.
We are like, oh my God.
I told my brother,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? It's like, I don't want to work.
That one's different. That's not what we're talking about.
No, do you know why? Because he thinks that like, oh, he sees me at home like working. It's just like, he thinks I don't work.
You see,
Okay, so what he means is he wants to be like you.
Yeah,
but he works.
What
he
it
works
just
though.
means he wants conditions like yours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it takes a while to get to those places.
No, you can ask for them from the minute
No,
one.
you can't.
No,
You can't.
we have to always, no, we're afraid
why-
competition.
why-
We're too
why-
shy.
it's
We're
very
too
possible.
shy
It's
to
not about
ask.
shy. It's not about shy.
Possible,
But there's a level of being shy and being cocky and being stupid. You know, it's you need to get.
I get
to
what
the-
you're
Look,
saying,
the thing
yeah.
is, look, me.
In the beginning, you have
I
to
told
put the
Victor.
work in.
Victor one thing. Like me, I love interviews. Me, I would just apply to one job just to see what one.
Yeah.
And I just go to the interview. I would just apply because that's me. I'm outgoing person. I had to learn it myself to be
Yeah.
more outgoing. So while I'm doing an interview, I'm laughing at people like this is me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to always figure, okay, I'm at the current right stage. But it takes a while for you to understand those things.
But you know,
it's a stepping
no, but
stone.
wait. I would say that's also this mindset of, oh, people that have been longer in a job than me have
Yeah,
the right.
they
But you know, you
yeah.
have in the job for
Yeah.
6 years, and it's the reason why you employ and interview
Yeah.
people of 15 years
But not
experience,
in every
right? Because you have something that they don't.
They don't have.
Yeah, but not in
In every position, there could
it's
be.
not in every word that we can apply the same
Maiwa,
rule.
I'm telling you, in the
Maiwa, we need to- we need to-
Gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But just last statement in that direction, Mario. Haven't you seen it that in your office you have these people 50 years plus, and then they always sit long at work, and then you go and see them that they take so long because they cannot operate Excel properly.
Yeah.
And you do this work in
Yeah.
30 minutes, they take 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can take the position as well. Why not?
And I
Bring the
will,
competence.
inshallah.
We need to
Inshallah.
eliminate inferiority complex when
Really?
it comes to
Me,
work.
I never inferior to anybody. I know when I
Listen,
Your
in
time
life,
is not coming, your time is now.
But
the
the way that
Gen Zs just have the audacity to say yes
say
or no.
Exactly.
yeah, no,
Right?
calm down, guys.
And
But
then
after school, you want to be the chief surgeon. No, this doesn't work. Oh.
That's
No. There are different parts.
No,
So
no,
not in
that's what
every.
I'm
Like
saying.
if you're in
Come
medicine, it's
It takes you need to go through this tunnel.
Okay.
But yeah.
In some areas, but in some areas, you don't. Okay, good. But it's good. It was a good last question. Yeah.
We love it. Thanks, guys. Please watch this. This one you can really send to your pastor, to your mama, to your friends. And try to figure out what you really like.
The episode,
It was really nice.
Try to really enjoy and figure out what you want to do. Try to find the right people. Always network, talk. Don't feel any type of way by failing. It's normal. It's part of life. You know.
And we
A lot of
didn't
people
even
have
cover-
failed multiple times in relationships, so you can also fail.
Yeah.
Bye.